I am so delighted to be speaking with Mara Junot on today's Glimpse. Mara, we worked on Cobra Kai together.
We did, and I'm so thrilled about it.
What is the difference of the experience for you to go in and be able to do the session live as opposed to doing it in your home studio?
Home studios are great. I mean, especially for, when you want to be in your jammies, which who doesn't want to be in their jammies? But I'm just saying, there's just nothing like the in-studio experience, hanging out with everybody, getting to see Randy and getting to meet you in person. I just feel like there's just something about having the human right on the other side of the glass, where you can sit down and talk with them if there's any questions, and just, it really just brings things a little more to life, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
It enhances the collaboration process, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Because it's just real people talking to real people.
I think what's interesting as well is that having it in studio, especially on such a big project, you kind of create a world, and then you get to invite all the people into the world. Like the studio space becomes, this is where we're gonna hold the space for this game.
Absolutely.
People come in and then play and pick up on that energy that's already happening in there.
That's absolutely it. There's an energy, there's a vibe that happens, and it kind of becomes this arena to play where you have permission to kind of release yourself from whatever you're kind of pigeonholed into when you're in your house.
Can you tell us a bit about Piper, your experience with developing her voice?
Piper was, very socially aware, and, so I tried to, just come from a place of smartness, conjuring up what I could. I think it was a morning session, so I made it a little bit challenging, but I think I did hopefully a moderately decent job at it.
What else also interesting, so you did Piper and you did some NPCs. So you did three different characters to make me different. However, they were all basically teenagers.
Right. And that can be tricky.
Right. So how do you find your inner teenager?
Well, I mean, you play around with the attitudes. I mean, obviously they're all a little bit different. We had the cheerleader, kind of has a little more mean girls, preppy sort of energy, you know what I mean? And then I think we had the goon woman, and she was a little more maybe edgy biker punk sort of energy. So even though it's a certain age, it's still a completely different vibe of mean that you can kind of tap into.
Super big question I had is, when did you actually know what character you were playing?
In terms of Piper, it was when I got the email right before the session. I think it was, oh my gosh, I think it was like a day before the session.
Okay, so you actually got it ahead, because there were a lot of people that walked in like, there's the script, like, oh, that's what today.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NPCs I didn't know, but Piper, I think I got maybe less than a day's notice, so I had a little time.
Yeah, which is different than having to walk in. And, and create something, but you obviously had to do that with the other two characters.
Yeah.
Mentally, how do you, especially with what Gillian said, where we're talking teenagers?
Yeah.
How do you dial it so quickly?
For me, it's just about tapping into the essence of, what is it like to be a confused, teenager who's trying to fit in and trying to be cool. We can all relate to that. So I tap into the essence of that energy. And that's kind of the place from where I start. There's no specific formula other than that.
And it's also a collaborative process as well, because you present something and then other people are saying, well, we think that works, or maybe she could be a little bit more like that, or dial something back because that sounds a lot like somebody else.
Absolutely.
And you're able to work with that. Well, thank you so much. This is delightful to see you again and chat with you.
Likewise, it is my pleasure. Thank you guys so much for having me.